Hey guys, I'm Jamie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if it's not your first time. Thank you so much for joining me. If it is your first time here on my channel, I kind of started this channel as a little bit of a fashion thing. It was just when the pandemic had started, and I think I just needed a creative outlet for fashion, and I wasn't really able at the time to just go to a store and buy clothes. So I was doing a lot of clothing subscription unboxings and try-ons, and then when I was able to shop, more hauls and try-ons from stores I was going to. But then my channel kind of transitioned to more of a vlog style. So I have been doing a lot of travel vlogs, recently a lot of Disney vlogs, because we have moved from New Hampshire to Florida, at least for the time being, and I've really been enjoying it down here, and I just kind of wanted to share what's been going on. So I realized I haven't really shared with you guys what's been happening professionally, because we've just made the transition to Florida and I needed to get a job. I previously worked as a librarian, as a school administrative assistant, and I've done some other kind of smaller jobs in between, but those were my main jobs, mostly as a librarian. I was a children's librarian for a long time. So I thought it would be super simple to just jump into a job when I got down here, even if it was like at a grocery store or at a school working as an administrative assistant. I just thought there would be so many openings when we got down to Florida, and it would be super easy. For reference, I'm in Central Florida, so it may be different in other areas, but I just thought, I'll find a job easily. There are tons of businesses down here. It has not been as easy as I thought it would be. So I ended up taking a job in retail, which I have never done before and has been a little bit of a challenge. Not because it's difficult. I have not really found too many issues with it, and the parts where I get to move around a lot, I really enjoy. But I would say it's not something that's necessarily for me. So I have worked with the public and in customer service for my entire life, and I love it. The part that I don't love when it comes to retail is sales. So I don't mind ringing up an order. I don't mind, I love helping people. But when it comes to add-on sales and trying to get people to buy more than they wanted to buy, or trying to get them to buy the more expensive thing, or trying to offer them a credit card that they really shouldn't be getting, that kind of thing just makes me feel icky. And I know lots of people do that and are great at it and love it, and that's wonderful, but it's just not something I've done in my life and not something I really enjoy. So that's what I've been doing recently, but I knew it would be a short-term thing for me. I've recently been working on figuring out what I can do as an alternative career here in Florida. So I've done two things, and I'm starting this video before the completion of the second one. So I'll kind of let you know what's going on, and then I'll probably finish this video after I know the outcome of the second one. So the first thing I have done is I took the Parapro exam to become a school paraprofessional. So I have worked in schools as an administrative assistant. I've never worked as a paraprofessional, other than one day when I substituted in the fall. I worked as a para with a little 9-year-old girl, and that was a fun day, but that was the only day I have ever worked as a paraprofessional. So looking into the guidelines in this area of Florida, in order to be a para in a school here, you need to, 1, have an associate's degree, 2, have 60 credits or more from college, or 3, pass the Parapro exam. So I have not done enough college to have earned that many credits. I only have about a year or so of college under my belt. So I decided to take the Parapro exam. So I did that on Monday. I only have my unofficial scores as of right now, but according to my unofficial scores, I have a 480 on the Parapro exam, which is the highest score you can get as far as I can see. It looks like I missed one question, but I guess maybe that's close enough to passing with the highest score. Anyway, that is enough to get me into a job as a paraprofessional. So that's going to be one option if I can find a job in a school. The other thing I wanted to share with you guys is I have an interview with Disney on Wednesday. So I saw a role listed on their website, on the Disney Careers website, that I thought would kind of be right up my alley. And so I decided to apply. It was only listed on the website for probably 4 or 5 hours. And somehow I managed to see it during that short time. And I applied for it. And the next day I was offered an interview. So that interview is happening Wednesday morning. I am pretty nervous about it, but at the same time, I feel like it's close enough to within my skill set that I feel like I have a lot of experience to kind of fall back on. And so I'm excited, but yeah, super nervous, as you would be for any job that you are excited to, have the potential to get. So anyway, I just wanted to check in, let you guys know what's going on. I'm actually off to my retail job in about an hour or so. So I just wanted to check in, say hi. I know you guys are always rooting for me, and I always appreciate that. So thank you so much. And I am going to, I'm going to take a little break right here. When I come back, hopefully I'll have some news about Disney and maybe other potential jobs. We will see. Hey guys, so I have one day left before my interview with Disney. I'm getting kind of nervous. I've written down a lot of things that I might want to say or talk about, and yeah, I'm just getting kind of nervous about it, but I have the afternoon to just kind of sit by the pool. I have a phone call soon to talk to a travel agent about a trip we're going to be taking. And then I plan on making some Chex Mix to get ready for Thanksgiving in a couple of days. But yeah, mostly I'm just kind of relaxing, giving myself some time to just kind of unwind, decompress, and get ready for this big interview tomorrow. I'll definitely let you know how it goes. All right, guys, my Disney interview day is here. I'm getting a little bit nervous. Not super nervous, but just, like those interview nerves that you get sometimes. I am kind of more excited, I guess, than nervous to just have this Disney interview. So I'm going to show you what I'm wearing for my interview. It is on Zoom, so I want to make sure I'm dressed up on the top, but it doesn't really matter what I'm wearing on the bottom. So let me quickly show you. All right, so I have on this dress. This is by Gilly. It was from Fasham back in the day, probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And then this sweater is by Loft. It's just sort of like a very see-through kind of sweater. I'm actually contemplating wearing a blazer. So I'm gonna try that on too for you guys, and we'll see what I think. Hold on. Okay, so this is my other option. You would just see the top, obviously, in a Zoom interview, so kind of like that. This blazer is by Skyzer Blue. I got it in a Stitch Fix box probably 2 years ago. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna go with the sweater, just because it's gonna be cooler, and I really like the detail on it, so yeah. Okay, so I actually think I'm gonna go with the blazer because I really think like this is how much of me the interviewer is gonna see, and I think it just looks just a little classier, a little more professional for an interview. So anyway, I've got about 45 minutes before the interview is supposed to start. When it comes to Disney interviews, they can start the interview up to 15 minutes early or up to 15 minutes late. So my interview is at 9:30 and my dog is barking because we have company for Thanksgiving. So it can start anywhere between 9:15 and 9:45. So I'm gonna be ready at 9 because I'm just early like that. So I'm gonna be in my office at my desk with my computer ready at 9 o'clock. I'll let you know how it goes. Hey guys, so it is about 5 days later. I just wanted to check in and let you know how my interview with Disney went. So I got the job, so that's super exciting. I am thrilled to have even been considered for a position with Disney, but I am super excited to have gotten the job. So for me at least, and I don't speak for the company, obviously, I'm just speaking for myself and based on my own experiences. But the way that the hiring process is working for me is that I had my interview last Wednesday and was immediately put on a wait list. So what that means is that they're hiring ahead for this role and they don't actually have one available right now. They just want to make sure, I think that they have a pool of applicants ready to go when there are openings available. So there is not an opening available right now, and I have been put on the wait list, but When there is a role available at the location that I was hired for, I will be able to jump right in. All I have to do is a background check and a drug test, and then I would be able to start. So I'm super excited about that. I also wanted to update you guys. I think I will, maybe in another video, I'll go into the interview process with Disney a little bit more, because it was definitely a different interview process than I've had anywhere else. It was kind of an amazing interview. So anyway, I also wanted to let you guys know, I think I mentioned earlier that I had taken the ParaPro exam. That is so that you are eligible to be a paraprofessional in Florida. I think in New Hampshire, you didn't need to take an exam, but I think you had to take an exam within a certain amount of time, maybe a year or so. But anyway, in Florida, you have to have it before you start in a paraprofessional position. So I did take that exam, I passed it, and I got an unofficial score, but I'm still waiting on an official score, which they send out in the mail. And I wanted to tell you guys, in case anyone's interested in taking that exam, it was interesting because it covered a lot of information that I had completely forgotten from basically elementary school. So like reading comprehension, writing rules, math that I did in, like really kind of basically like third through maybe sixth or seventh grade, and had completely forgotten because I don't use. That's kind of what was on the test. And you can take practice tests, and those show kind of exactly what's on the test. And that's what I did. I took probably 3 or 4 practice tests and just sort of learned the information again that way. And a lot of it I had retained, but some of it I had not. Things like, like angles and how to measure the area of a triangle, things like that. I was terrible in geometry. And so knowing that I would have some questions like that on the exam was a little intimidating, because I just wanted to do really well. So anyway, I wanted to say, if that's something you're thinking about doing, it was not as intimidating as I thought, and I finished it well within the time frame. They give you 2.5 hours, and it's only 90 questions total. So I thought I would need that whole time. I think I only took like maybe an hour and a little, maybe an hour and a half. But again, you can finish the test well within the time frame for sure. So because I took my time on these questions, I read and reread because I just wanted to make sure I was reading correctly, because a few of the questions on the practice tests had kind of tripped me up because I hadn't read them closely enough. So I wanted to make sure I was reading really well on the test. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know my little update. I will say I am currently working a retail job that I don't like. The hours are very difficult for me. I have never worked very late. When I worked at the library I worked at was open till 8 o'clock in the evenings, 4 days a week. So we had a rotating schedule, and I only had to work one evening a week. So one day I only had to work until 8 o'clock per week. Working a retail job now, maybe especially because it's the holiday season, I'm working till 8, 9, 10, a lot of days, and it's exhausting. I'm a morning person, so having to work late at night is not, it's not good for my body. I'm like exhausted by 6 p.m. because I'm up at like 6 in the morning. So yeah, it's been just a change that's not great. I don't love it. So I'm really hoping to hear from Disney sometime soon. This role that I applied for, I won't tell you what it is exactly, but this role that I applied for and got is kind of a very specialized role, and something that my experience kind of plays into. And so I'm very excited at the thought of doing this role. Kind of a little nervous, but also really excited. So anyway, guys, thank you for coming along for this sort of chatty work and work preparation update. I really appreciate you always coming along with me, and thank you so much. And yeah, I think the next video I do, you can see some of my Christmas decorations back here. I might do a little Christmas decor tour, because it looks like Christmas threw up in this house. It's like Christmas decorations galore, because we have 3 families living in the house. When I say 3 families, it's myself and my husband, my in-laws, and my parents. So there are only 6 of us, but we all came in with our own Christmas decorations, so they're everywhere. So anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.